JustinFREAKIN, the formidable voice in the culture.
Hey Justin, are you trolling?
Come on, man.
This is the Troll Patrol, live with JustinFREAKIN.
I may like the Pride Month countdown better than the normal countdown. What's up, fuckers? Welcome to the Troll Patrol Live. It's a freaking Tuesday. I'm not high enough for this shit. I'm not high enough to do the show. I've been working my ass off all day. I had to do a video chat with a client earlier today. Then I had another client wanted to video chat, and I'm like, what do we have to talk? Because, like, sometimes I'll get people that, like, every time they have something to tell you, they want to hop on a call. And I'm like, I'm not a hop on a call kind of guy. Bee Cakes, Nine Tails, good evening. You guys came on a fantastic night. Boy, the planes are very high. I need to be very high. I need to get up there with the planes. Like a fucking trooper, I did that. Tell me what you think about planes? Is this gonna be a chemtrail thing? I don't think I'm really the guy for that. Mater, Fuzzy Face, I don't know that I'm gonna even take calls tonight. Even if a chud wanted to call in. I need to be in and out of here. Last night we did this in 2 hours. I need to do 2 hours. 2 hours or less. Tomorrow night. We gotta have a slimmed down show. But that doesn't mean it's not chock full of shit that we're gonna laugh about. We're gonna cry. I promise you. What are we gonna cry about? We're gonna cry about the fact that if this 5-year-old had been armed, maybe they wouldn't have been shot and killed by this armed 7-year-old. San Francisco got wild video for you. Got video of it. 2 cars have a shootout. 2 cars have a whole gun battle. It's caught on video. Multiple people dead in an e-bike fire. I told you we're gonna cry. It's gonna be. We got a lot of transportation stories. A cop got sucked into a sewer drain, and we have video of that. I didn't say that was going to make you cry, though. That's probably going to make you... That's probably back to the making you laugh. In the making you cry category, I never thought I'd have to get on here and be like, a global monkey torture ring has been exposed. But here we are in 2023 on June 20th. What, on this here, solstice? I have to report to you that a global monkey torture ring has been exposed. I hope every one of you are saying, what the fuck? Isn't that just Neuralink headquarters? Yes, that was my first thought when I saw the headline. I'm like, was Elon Musk the one getting busted? Let me give you your meme of the day. 4 people who can afford to blow 250 grand on a boat ride are stuck on the bottom of the ocean, and you're laughing? And you're laughing! Oh, apparently time is running out for those on the submarine. Or, it's not a submarine, it's a submersive vehicle, apparently piloted by a fucking NES controller or some shit. I think I am lying to you on that one. It wasn't an NES controller. I think it was like a PlayStation controller or some shit. Dude was piloting the submersive vehicle with a PlayStation controller. Joe Rogan's rider. Speaking of Joe Rogan, we're gonna find out if we've got a good reason for Wi-Fi causing cancer. Was it cancer? Does Wi-Fi cause cancer? We're gonna find out. We're gonna hear from Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Orcas are not our friends. We're gonna read from a piece in the Atlantic. Orcas are not our friends, and we should not be cheering them on. I promise you're gonna get some hot orca action tonight. Plus, a law student who has never played basketball is going to be in the NBA draft. All that and more tonight on the Troll Patrol live. Mater, there's a lot of things to make fun of Robert Kennedy for, but I don't believe that his speech is one of them. I don't even remember what, like, he's got a medical condition that causes that. So I don't think, like, as us enlightened wokies over here, I don't think we should be giving him hell for shit that he can't help. Because there's plenty of dumb shit that he says that we can give him hell for. And we're going to. I assume listening to Robert F. Kennedy is going to sound like listening to Steiner do math.
You take your 33 and a third chance minus my 25% chance, and you got an 8 and a
Lord,
third chance
yes,
of winning.
we're going to do Hunter Biden. Yes, we're going to do Hunter Biden. You got here just in time. Yes, I'm woke scolding you. Because it's what is expected of me. I'm expected to woke scold people. And that includes having to woke scold myself when I cross the line, which has happened numerous times. You can visit the Discord and you can go to the Cancel Justin thread. You can see all the times I have crossed the line and needed to be woke scolded. You mean those Democrats?
Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
Oh shit! Oh, Warlord is correct. Those clips don't exist anymore because they were associated with my Twitch channel. I don't know what Maynard is doing over there. I hope it's the dishes. If you're doing something over there, I hope it's the dishes, Maynard. As I said, I've got a. They asked me questions the other day, and I've not had a follow up since. I'm still trying, but even once, as I've said, even if I do get the Twitch back, we can't multi-stream. We can't be on multiple platforms. So I don't know how to handle it other than to split the Troll Patrol up, and it's in different places for different times. I don't know. Like, I'm thinking it's going to be on all the other platforms except Twitch, and maybe we'll do like Twitch Thursdays or Twitch Tuesdays or something, and we'll do a show at like 4:20 on Twitch to make up for not being on Twitch, and we'll do the show on Twitch all the way up until we're on the all the other platforms. Does that sound good? I don't know. I think like I'm toying with the idea of doing like, you know, a Troll Patrol X-rated extra, and it's behind a paywall, and we can watch body cam footage and shit. Org is correct that that's exploitative, but so when we watch body camera footage, I feel like at least half of it is criminal justice like purposes is the reason why we're watching it. The other half of it is just my morbid curiosity. I will admit that wholeheartedly, and that makes up for the whole of the content we watch. usually the like tonight am I going to be pushing it with the shootout? It's on YouTube, so I don't think I can get banned from YouTube for playing something that's on YouTube. But I don't know. Stranger things have happened. But because it's on YouTube, I would assume that it is edited properly. But I mean, in terms of politics, kind of an earth-shattering story happened today. I don't have a joke. I wanted to joke. I wanted to like maybe the Biden everyone's talking about, and then cut to a clip of just Joe Biden talking about AI, because we're gonna get to that, the dangers of AI. But like it didn't feel fitting for like the top of the show story, so I guess we'll start with Hunter Biden schlong.
Talk a little bit about the Hunter Biden plea deal and your reaction.
My first reaction is it
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy.
The two-tier system in America. If you are the president's leading political opponent, the DOJ tries to literally put you in jail and give you prison time. If you are the president's son, you get a sweetheart deal. Now, this does nothing to our investigation. It actually should enhance our investigations, because the DOJ should not be able to withhold any information now, saying that because of pending investigation, they should be able to provide Chairman Comer with any information that he requires.
But Mr. Speaker,
Motherfucker, the ink hasn't even dried. They haven't, like, as far as I know, he's just agreed to the deal. We don't know that the deal has actually been done. A lot of things can happen.
this is a Trump-appointed U.S. attorney that was held over into this administration. Why won't you accept
It's
that
done.
this is a thorough investigation and to just accept it on its merits, given the person who investigated?
It was a thorough investigation?
Why would you accept it? I'm asking you.
But I'm asking you. So you believe it's a thorough investigation?
I'm asking you.
Do you think it's equal and fair that a political opponent is going to be given jail time, but a presidential son, and if you compare this to other individuals in America that have these same accusations against them, same crimes that they have been guilty of, that they were proposed to have 10 years another time period? I think that's a difference in justice.
Speaker
What about
McCarthy,
the,
Come on,
what
man.
about the fact that
Dicks.
Speaker McCarthy, you said this has no impact on the investigations from House Republicans. So what can the American people expect from Republicans going forward?
He is Sticks, like he is being charged with a crime they don't normally charge people with. Like it's like a accessory crime. Like usually, like it's if you commit some sort of gun violence and then they found out you lied on the form, they'll charge you with that in addition to the crime that you committed. Like this isn't a crime that they usually charge people with. So like it is the Justice Department like, well, we can't show them any favoritism, tisk tisk. You did lie on a federal form. It is the biggest bunch of bullshit.
Continue to follow whatever information leads us to. We've watched time and again. I mean, remember what we have found so far. That the president's family builds nothing, owns no offices, but we found out, lo and behold, even though the FBI tried to hold from us, that in a 1023 form, that people have said that they had to pay the president's family money for favors. We now found later, by suspicious activities through banks, how many American families have ever had that happen to them, but there's hundreds of them, that money has come from foreign entities into shell companies, moved to other shell companies by the president, and paid members of his family all the way down to grandchildren as well. How many families in America have that, where you literally build nothing, you make no product, you have no offices, but you make millions of dollars from foreign entities, and they pay almost numerous members in your family through shell companies. The minute the money comes in, moves to another shell company, which moves to the payment of a family. that raises questions.
I still don't exactly know what the allegations are.
The investigation continues to lie, to look into these where the president said he had nothing to do with, but we had other accusations and information that continues to unfold.
We've heard a lot about two-tiered systems of justice. Is it only equal application if Hunter Biden or President Biden is indicted as well? I mean, the charges are different, the circumstances are different.
Well, okay, that's a very good question, because the question is it equal justice? So you have one leading opponent of the current president that is now indicted, is supposed to do jail time. You have a president's son that the investigation...
And just a little update, because we're not actually going to talk a lot about him later on in the show, is like his trial date has been set for August 17th. Trump's trial date for the classified documents set for August 17th. That is the initial date. Trump doesn't even have a lawyer at this point. Who knows if that will get pushed back or not. But right now, August 17th. That's coming at us awfully fast.
Went on for a very long time. That now has to do no jail time. But you have the... Can I finish the answer to your question? But now you have a sitting president that's in charge of the DOJ that has the same...
Come on, man!
...against his political opponent, where he has classified documents, but his is even worse because it goes all the way back when he was a senator. Now, none of you have ever asked me this question. As a member of Congress and a member of the Gang of Eight, can I ever remove classified documents from the SCIF? The answer is no. But why is the sitting president today have classified documents all the way back to when he was a senator? And if he's been in office this long, why...
Now, I don't know that that claim is true. We know that he has documents from when he was vice president.
Investigation of former President Trump, even though you're talking about presidential records that doesn't have a criminal statute to it and doesn't have a timeline when the papers come back, but you have a sitting president today that now has a son that gets a sweetheart deal, that now the president today, his top political opponent, is indicted and has potential jail time, and you have the same problem yourself, but there's no movement.
I never know if Warlord is bullshitting me or not. It's possible that Warlord has indeed seen such documents.
And you see the Supreme Court, you see Lady Justice there. She's holding a scale, right? But also she has a blindfold on. So it shouldn't matter where you weigh, whether you're a political opponent or not, it should be equal justice. And I think too many Americans out there, regardless on where you stand on this issue...
Why did he do a little dance when he said that?
You want to equal justice, and it just doesn't seem...
Speaker McCarthy, Speaker McCarthy, Speaker McCarthy.
That is House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, the leader of the Republicans in the House of Representatives. Let's hear from some, I guess, legal experts. Maybe even Hunter Biden's lawyers themselves. Yep, Hunter's attorney.
With this case now for several years, and he just issued a statement that describes the outlines of what we've been talking about.
Oh, maybe we don't have him in the flesh.
Two agreements between my client, Hunter Biden, and the United States Attorney's Office for the District of Delaware. It is my understanding that the 5-year investigation into Hunter is resolved. That is the key sentence right there. It is my understanding that the 5-year investigation into Hunter is resolved. Hunter will take responsibility for 2 instances of misdemeanor failure to file tax payments when due to a plea agreement. The firearm charge will be subject to a pretrial diversion agreement and will not be subject to the plea agreement, but will also be filed by the government. Here's also what he says about Hunter. He says, I know Hunter believes it is important to take responsibility for these mistakes he made during a period of turmoil and addiction in his life. He looks forward to continuing his recovery.
I'll smoke to that.
Again, the key operative parts of that statement are that at least in their discussions with prosecutors in the U.S. Attorney's Office, again, this is a U.S. Attorney, David Weiss, who was appointed by Donald Trump, kept on in this job to oversee this investigation. This deal
Get him,
that
David.
resolves this investigation. According to Hunter Biden's attorneys, they believe this resolves everything, and really that's an important part of this plea agreement because this investigation, as we've talked about, spanning 5 years, 3 attorneys general have looked at a lot of issues, including Hunter Biden's financial dealings in Ukraine, his work with a Chinese energy company, things that Republicans are not ready to let go of. They believe that there's more investigation to be done. So even if Hunter Biden's attorneys believe that this investigation is over, at least the criminal investigation with the U.S. Attorney's Office in Delaware, they may face a lot more questions from House Republicans who are not quite done with this yet. Kate, John?
Oh, God, of course we're not going to stop hearing about Hunter Biden's schlong. Yes, that's what I wanted to hear from Hunter's attorneys. I do not care about all the pontificating that CNN is going to do afterwards. You want to hear from Joe himself? Joe met with leaders of the tech industry, quote unquote, to talk about artificial intelligence, but of course he was questioned about Hunter Biden.
Because I have a lot to learn, and we also have a lot to discuss. So I'd like to ask the press to leave the room. Thank you for coming in. I'm very proud of my son.
He's very proud of his son. So, they said that was at a conference with the tech industry on the dangers of AI. That's what Joe Biden was doing today, shortly after it was announced that his son was taking a plea deal with the Department of Justice. But I'm interested about what Joe Biden thought about AI.
Often in ways we don't notice. AI is already making it easier to search the internet. I'm here today. I want to hear directly from the experts, and these are some of the world's leading experts on this issue.
Gavin Newsom is not one of the world's leading experts.
Society, who we can provide a range of perspectives for us, and on AI's enormous promise and its risks. As I've said before, we'll see more technological change in the next 10 years than we've seen in the last 50 years, and maybe even beyond that. And AI is already driving that change in every part of American life, often in ways we don't notice. In seizing this moment, we need to manage the risks to our society, to our economy, and our national security. My administration is committed to safeguarding America's rights and safety, from protecting privacy to addressing bias and disinformation.
That's the thing, privacy.
AI systems are safe before they are released. Social media has already shown us the harm that powerful technology can do without the right safeguards in place. That's why I said at the State of the Union that Congress needs to pass bipartisan privacy legislation to impose strict limits on personal data collection, ban targeting advertising to our children, and require companies to put health and safety first. But today I'd like to hear more from
God, I think we're far beyond that.
I have a lot to learn, and we also have a lot to discuss. So I'd like to ask the press to leave the room. Thank you for coming in.
We just got that clip. That was Joe Biden on the dangers of AI. I would like to see what kind of privacy legislation they're able to pass, especially with a split Congress. There may be a few Republicans you can get, especially in Congress. The Thomas Massey types, maybe they would sign on to some sort of privacy legislation. Man that's not going to have any privacy is the lawyer who was representing the Oath Keepers, as a judge has said that he is mentally incompetent and has ordered him to be hospitalized for treatment. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not a him. I just automatically assumed it was a him. I misgendered her. My apologies. Kelly, spelled really weird. Sorrell, a lawyer for the Oath Keepers militia, who has herself been hit with conspiracy charges for her role in the deadly January 6 riots at the United States Capitol building, has been ordered hospitalized so she could undergo mental health examinations. Cancel Justin indeed. As flagged by CBS News' Scott McFarlane, Judge Amit Mehta on Tuesday formally declared that Sorrell was not competent enough to stand trial for her alleged crimes. The court finds by a preponderance of evidence that the defendant is presently suffering from a mental health disease or defect, rendering her mentally incompetent to the extent that she is unable to understand the nature and consequences. She's a lawyer of the proceedings against her or to assist properly in her defense. Kelly E. Venus comes for the trolling.
You live in sexual anarchy.
Kelly? Okay, are you guys fucking with me now? The judge then ruled that Sorrell shall be committed to the custody of the Attorney General for treatment in a suitable mental facility for the purposes of competency restoration. Sorrell was charged last year with conspiracy and obstruction as prosecutors alleged that she attempted to corruptly persuade other persons to withhold evidence from a grand jury investigating the Capitol riot. Kelly. Does she look like a Kelly to you? Killa D. Leahy. Oh, I can't take it. No. Guys, you know the reason I shaved my head, right? It's because I got hooked on that Andrew Tate shit. It kept showing up in my TikTok feed, in my Facebook feed, and like I fell into the Andrew Tate spell. I tried to strive to be a top G, yo. I don't think he ever said yo. I just completely fucked this up. I fucked this bit up. Never mind. Andrew Tate. Taurus, good evening. I'm sorry you had to witness that. Andrew Tate has now been charged with human trafficking and rape in Romania. I do believe he is back in custody.
Ask the politicians, ask the judges. You're getting closer to
I did lose a bet. I was trying to do a bit and it didn't work out. So formally charged with rape and human trafficking, Romania's anti-organized crime agency alleges that 7 female victims were misled. One defendant allegedly raped a victim twice in March of 2022, according to the statement. Tate, 36, is a professional kickboxer with more than 6 million Twitter followers. Was previously banned from various platforms. Alleging that the case is political.
Wait. Ask the police what evidence they have against me. It's nothing. They're holding boxing yourself.
Everybody knows I'm innocent. And it's fine.
Out there boxing yourself and you.
I don't know if that was new footage. I hope it was. I kind of think it was because of the hair. He grew the hair while he was locked up the first time. So hopefully that was new footage of him being arrested in Romania. Oh, God damn it. I really don't, like, seriously. I never in a million years thought that I would do this story. We're not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to, like, hit the headline. We're going to get in and out of this one. I can't do this. I can't do harming animals. It really fucks with me. The BBC has uncovered a global monkey torture ring. This is the story of the torturers, the amateur sleuths who hunted them, and the fate of Minnie, the baby monkey, who became a celebrity in their twisted world. Yeah, he thought he had escaped the Matrix, but now he's back in the Matrix. The fuck? I don't even understand. One night last May, unable to sleep, Lucy Kapitanich opened her laptop in the early hours. The screen lit up. Her tired face in the dark, she typed, "Report a crime to the FBI," into the search engine bar and clicked through to the agency's online tip form. "I've made a complaint before," she wrote in the little box on the screen. "The monkey hate community is growing." Monkey hate community. What kind of sick fucks? First of all, I want to say I love monkeys. I would own a monkey, like, as a pet. Own is a weird word. Like, I don't own these fucking cats. They own me. I'd let a monkey own me as a pet. Kapitanich didn't know it then, but as she watched, YouTube's algorithm was at work on her, following her every click, saving her every preference, presenting her with new content it hoped she would watch next. Soon, when Kapitanich looked at YouTube at night, monkeys were everywhere. All it takes is like one click and bam, it's all over your feed, she said. Kapitanich saw my, and I totally understand you guys not wanting to be here for the story. I don't want to do the story, but because, like, nobody made a big deal about this, I feel the need to do the story. Like, it's kind of just an off chance that I even heard about this, and busting a global monkey torture ring is kind of what monkey soon enough a torture video popped up in her feed. What I didn't know this was a thing. A little over a year ago, the BBC World Service began investigating the emergence of these monkey torture videos too. I knew this was a thing, like on Twitter, these like dog and the cat blender video. These are things that went viral, and like, what the fuck? I don't understand. Videos appeared to be mostly coming out of Indonesia. Well, fuck them. And being uploaded to YouTube purely. Not everybody in Indonesia, clearly. Once again, that's Justin crossed the line there. Did a little racism. My apologies. The video appeared to be mostly coming from Indonesia and being uploaded to YouTube purely for the entertainment of sadists abroad. In the comments under the videos, we found a twisted community of monkey haters who seem to be getting off on watching. Our investigation would lead us to Lucy Kapitanich, to Indonesia and across America, and into a hidden world that was darker and more extreme than we could have imagined. The worst of the torture we found there was too depraved to describe in detail in this story, but in her quest to bring it to light, Kapitanich saw it all. So if you do want to read it, that's as far as I'm going to go. If you do want to read this story, I'm going to hit you with it in the comments. That's the BBC report. It's their investigation. Good on them for taking them down. Good on Kapitanich for suffering through that in order to find these bastards. But god damn. It gets worse. We'll go ahead. This is the next one that like everyone would consider. Why everyone's gone from the monkey torture. Let's get this one out of the way. I'll crack my jokey joke at the beginning here, and then we'll get serious. Like, if only the 5-year-old had been armed with a gun, maybe they wouldn't have been shot by the 7-year-old. I'm gonna take you to Kentucky.
Police say it was a gunshot that left a 5-year-old dead in Jackson County. They're calling this an accident, saying the person who shot that gun was a 7-year-old. They believe they are siblings. They didn't say their genders. We saw a big police scene next to a church along Highway 421. We're told a team of KSP detectives were on scene. Police were originally called at 5:30. The Jackson County coroner pronounced the 5-year-old dead on scene. Trooper Justin Kearney told us police don't yet know exactly how this happened. Kearney told us...
There's too many goddamn guns!
Just always a good reminder to make sure that your firearms are in a safe place and out of the reach of children.
He says this is a good reminder to make sure that if you have firearms in your home, to make sure they're in a safe place and out of the reach of children. In Jackson County, Ricky Sayer, LAX 18 News.
Maybe there's too many goddamn guns. Maybe if you got a kid, maybe you don't have a gun in the house. Absolutely absurd. And it happened in Kentucky. Clearly, people aren't responsible enough to have fucking guns. Pew pew, pew pew. More time for the kids out there. Maybe there's too many goddamn guns when there's so many fucking gunfights going on out here. They're getting recorded on video.
New video recorded by a dash cam just blocks away from Pier 39 shows the terrifying moments when gunshots rang out. It captures people on the elevated walkway and street below running to safety. Other people can be seen ducking for cover behind a car. Seconds later, as the vehicle approaches the intersection of North Point and Embarcadero, the suspect vehicles, a black SUV and white sedan, blast through the intersection. On the other side of that intersection, a group of 4 cyclists ride across the intersection after the first one crosses the street. The black SUV races right through them. The last cyclist in the group can be seen dropping their bike and racing to help the injured cyclists, we now know to be a 10 and 16-year-old girl. Seconds later, as the driver makes a turn, 2 bikes can be seen lying in the middle of Embarcadero and a group of people huddled around the median. Minutes later, the dashcam captures a police car racing to the scene, followed by a fire truck.
We were in the middle of our set that began at 6:30, and we were in the middle of a song, families surrounding us, and all of a sudden we started hearing pop, 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 and it sounded like fireworks.
Megan Schoenbaum was performing at the entrance of Pier 39 with her husband when gunfire erupted and they dropped to the ground.
In the moment, it just seemed like it just kept going, you know, and then it just stopped. And then suddenly Pier 39 was just, everybody had gone into the storefronts or ducked behind things or dropped to the ground. I mean, it was just like stillness.
Supervisor Asha Safai calls Sunday a heart-wrenching day for San Francisco.
We're going to get there, Richard.
West shootout as they're driving down.
You got here just in time.
with no regard for surrounding human life and safety. I mean, this just adds to the sense that San Francisco is a bit out of control, and it is, admittedly.
And while police
they're getting wild up in San Francisco.
Supervisor Safai says public safety in the city needs to be prioritized to help get things under control, which he hopes to get through an incoming ballot initiative next year that will focus on increasing the total number of police officers over the next few years.
These are things that I think feed into the perception and the ability of people to believe that they can behave this way in our city. But we have ignored our police department for the last 5 years, where we are severely understaffed, severely, by independent analysis.
Fuck them cops.
This is not something, in my mind, that's debatable.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
This silliness. More cops isn't going to fix the problem. I got a cop video to show you here in just a little bit. Let's go ahead and do that one. Let's do the cop video. I think this happened in Florida, Escambia County, Florida. Clinically, good evening, DJ Dub.
2 people were sucked into a drainage pipe, and it was all caught on police video. Florida's Escambia County Sheriff's Office says severe weather and torrential downpours caught many people off guard, especially drivers. Deputy William Hollingsworth was one of the officers helping stranded motorists.
At one point, Deputy Hollingsworth exited his patrol car to approach a citizen who was trapped in these rising waters.
Chip Simmons.
The officer saw the person go underwater and attempted to rescue him.
During the rescue attempt, both the citizen and Deputy Hollingsworth were sucked into the drainage pipe and were swept underneath the 4-lane roadway of Highway 98.
Authorities say the 2 men were
Nature is healing.
For about 30 seconds and traveled nearly 100 feet underwater.
Wow.
Oh, man, I got you. Hey, man, I got you.
The officer and citizen resurfaced on the other side of the highway, shocked to be breathing.
God damn.
Can you believe what just happened to us? You okay, buddy? Can you believe what happened to us? Just breathe, buddy. Oh, my God. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Oh, Jesus, thank you.
Oh, Jesus, thank you.
I've never held back down my life.
They waited for more help to arrive.
Let's hold on to each other. Yeah. I got you. He was over there and I was having him come across. And he goes down. I go in after him. I got sucked in. Drain pipe, right by that marker, and I went all the way underneath Highway 98 and got spit out.
Trauma can bond people, and this experience has clearly done that.
Me and you, man, all right, you got some experience for life.
Yeah, they were holding each other. Like, I look forward to this, the romance.
Experiencing severe thunderstorms, with more in the forecast.
David, can you believe what just happened to us?
For Inside Edition Digital, I'm TC Newman.
I'm serious, it sounded like those two were like gonna go make out. So I wanna watch that movie. Indeed, clinically. Thank you, Highway Planning. Wait, what's fake news? What? Steelers is wild, man. So there was a fire involving a bunch of e-bikes. This was an explosion at an e-bike facility in New York City. 4 people killed, 2 hurt. Let's go to this press conference that happened earlier today.
Madison Avenue. A call came in this morning a little after midnight for an odor of smoke and fire in the building you see behind me. Unfortunately, there were 6 critical injuries of residents that were pulled out of this fire. 4 of them have passed away. As you can see to my left, it is very clear that this was caused by lithium-ion batteries and e-bikes. There was a very large number of both batteries and e-bikes.
There's a pile of e-bikes.
Fire department, we have written violations at this location before, and we have conducted enforcement in this location before. So we would like to really emphasize today something that we have been saying over and over. While there is tremendous and important regulation
An explosion.
and the mayor's office, it is also very, very important we get the word out how incredibly dangerous this is. This exact scenario where there is an e-bike store on the first floor and residences above, and the volume of fire created by these lithium-ion batteries is incredibly deadly. Our members responded quickly. They got entrance to the building quickly. They did an extraordinary job. Both fire and EMS put their lives on the line to pull victims out.
Oh, Venus, thank you.
Them right away.
Nine Tails. Go ahead, light one up, tip one back. You're leaving.
It can make it nearly impossible.
You're leaving before the hot orca action. We're almost up on it.
To get out in time, and so we really want to work with all of our local partners here to make sure that we are getting the message out that this can be incredibly dangerous, as we have unfortunately seen here this morning.
Listen.
There you go, and you can see just a pile of them, completely burned out. I hope they had insurance. Clockwork Orange, good evening, my friend. Welcome in. If you might be wondering what my political persuasion is, I am whatever gets me to pissing in Dan Crenshaw's open eye hole. Give me that eye pussy, sir. If I thought being a Republican would get me closer to pissing in Dan Crenshaw's eye hole, all day, every day. Oh. Anyway, let me give you some advice here on this Pride Month.
Life is too short to walk this earth for a crusty asshole. Wash your ass.
You're an NWO fan, NWO for life. Oh, you're one of those dumb fucks that thinks you're like a centrist or above the fray. Both sides are bad. Stick around. We'll learn you something, boy. Oh, goddamn. So, in Paris, is Paris getting ready to host the Olympics or some shit? I hate the Olympics. The Olympics is nothing but a collection of sports that no one would pay to watch individually. That's why they package them all together like that, sell it at like discount. You said you're fascist? Oh yeah, well fuck you then. We really don't like the fash around here. What was I introducing? Oh, the Paris Olympics headquarters was raided in a corruption probe.
Meantime, French investigators today raided multiple locations, including the headquarters of the 2024 Paris Olympic Organizing Committee, as part of a probe
Not high enough for this shit.
Of public funds. NBC's chief international correspondent Keir Simmons is following this story for us, and those accusations of vote buying and graft hung over Tokyo in 2021, Rio in 2016. But Keir, what's going on in Paris right now?
That's right, Chris. And Paris 2024 is the first Olympics to have an anti-corruption policy. And yet it appears, and this is a bit of a bombshell, so we don't know exactly what's going on with these police raids. It appears.
I mean, that's a new one to me. I've never had somebody come in and be like, both Democrats and Republicans are bad. I'm a fascist. What's the difference between a fascist and a Republican? You know, that's a very good point clinically. Even that is Stanley Kubrick, my friend, is my favorite director. So I don't really appreciate you appropriating his movie like that. Definitely not the point of the movie. Yes, a very anti-fascist movie. Well, okay, Clockwork Orange. So, the Republican Party is fascist. Are most Republicans fascist? No, because most run-of-the-mill Republicans are just stupid. Right-wingers are morons. That's why they fall for fascists. But there are plenty of Republicans that will, and like I've been arguing this since back in the Bush administration. I don't get the Dems equal the KKK. Fash. Okay, sure, Steelers. I'm fascinated, Glock, that you would hang out here and be pleasant towards us. Are you just trolling? When you say you're fash, are you just trolling? Because that's understandable.
Hey Justin, are you trolling?
What are some of your fascist beliefs? Do enlighten me. Interested. I don't know what you mean by WNI. I don't get it. I don't know. I don't know what you're describing. Would you like to call and speak to me? I said I was going to go short tonight. We were going to go find out what the news be doing and get the fuck out of here. But I am fascinated by you, my friend. Would you like to call or Discord and explain your beliefs to me? You're a groiper type. I don't know. So I've had an encounter with the. If you hate religion, how can you be a groiper? Because isn't that like when they came in here and tried to harass me? They were very religious, and like one of the reasons how they justified what they did was that I was mocking their religion. I literally had a bandana with crosses and Jesus on it at the time. I had a shirt that said, Jesus loves you, but I don't. Go fuck yourself. It just happened. It was Dalton Codfelter. Tried to troll me one night. I don't understand. They're a bunch of religious nuttards. Is that a word, nuttard? What you got me? So many people have been saying the tard slur. Like you got me saying it now. Fuck off. I need to be woke scolded again for like the third time this stream. But like I don't. So what makes you a fascist? I think you just say that to get a rise out of people. You're not a fascist. You're a pleasant person. Fascists aren't pleasant. Yeah, fuck those groipers. Groipers aren't fun. We're fun over here, man. Like we're all about the love and the peace. Accepting everybody. I don't want anybody having to. So a lot of society's problems are because people are repressed. There are people that need to see some titties. There are people that need to get a nut. There are people that need to come out of the fucking closet. There are people that need to reckon with their, like a lot of these motherfuckers that are out here bitching about drag queens. It's because they get a hard on for drag queens, or they're aroused by the idea of dressing in drag themselves. And they're just repressed because of society. I want them to be themselves. I want to live in a world where they get to be themselves, and we don't have to put up with them fucking snapping and going nuts. Because they want to wear panties. Panties feel good against your dick. I'm off on a tangent here. Who gives it? Why the fuck? Dude, Steelers, you look like a clown. You look like a clown every time you come in here. Ah! So you probably shouldn't talk down on people that look like clowns. You fucking clown. I don't even give a shit. The Paris Olympics headquarters was raided in a corruption probe. That's all you need to know. And Olympics suck. I'm sorry to anyone out there in Streamland who is a Olympics fan or is an Olympic athlete. Time is running out for some bougie rich motherfuckers who went to the bottom of the sea. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, to find the tourist submarine that vanished on its way to check out the wreckage of the Titanic. The Coast Guard now says the sub has about 40 hours of oxygen supply left for the 5 people on board. And News 4's Gus Rosendale is live in the newsroom with an update on this desperate search, Gus.
As it was certainly a race against the clock, and the Coast Guard was asked this afternoon what would happen next if the sub is located. Just how realistic is a potential recovery?
The last images of the 21-foot Titan just as it began its dive on Sunday to the Titanic, a journey that's led to a multinational search and rescue mission.
This operation is our top priority.
U.S. and Canadian Coast Guard searching for an area the size of Connecticut for a vessel that's about the size of a city bus. Planes are above and sonar buoys are in the water, but so far there are no reports a craft able to dive deep enough to reach the ocean floor where the Titan may be lost is unseen.
You're talking about a search area that's 900 miles east of Cape Cod, 400 miles south of St. John's. So logistically speaking, it's hard to bring assets to bear. It takes time. It takes coordination.
5 people are on board the submersible going to explore the wreckage of the Titanic, a trip that can cost each passenger $250,000. Among them, billionaire Hamish Harding, who once took a submersible to the Mariana Trench and flew off Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin. He posted on Instagram about his upcoming Titanic adventure. Also on board, Pakistani businessman.
Now, before we move on from Hamish Harding here, I do want to point out that Hamish Harding has a stepson. And Hamish Harding's stepson decided to go to a Blink-182 show. Brian Cezaz, the stepson of billionaire Hamish Harding, has confirmed that his stepfather is one of the passengers aboard the Titanic submersible that has gone missing in the Atlantic Ocean, as reported by TMZ. And soon after the revelation, Cezaz found comfort and a bit of distraction as the ongoing search for the vehicle continued by attending a Blink-182 concert. Thoughts and prayers for my mom and Hamish Harding, he initially posted, adding, Hamish Harding, my stepfather, has gone missing on Submarine, thoughts and prayers. The post was later removed from his Facebook account and replaced by one asking for privacy and thanking those who expressed their support. He later shared an article from the Mirror reporting on the incident, adding, Hamish, my stepdad, is lost in a submarine. Thoughts and prayers that the rescue mission will be successful. Shortly after his initial post about his missing stepfather, Saz posted a photo of himself attending a Blink-182 concert. I heard they were expensive. It might be distasteful being here, but my family would want me to be at the Blink-182 show, as it's my favorite band, and music helps me in difficult times. It might be distasteful being here, but my family would want me to be at the Blink-182 show. It's his favorite band. It's all the small things.
Shahzada Dawood and his 19-year-old son. The pilot of the vessel is reportedly Frenchman Paul-Henri Nargeolet, and the company that owns the Titan, OceanGate, now confirms its CEO, Stockton Rush, as the fifth passenger. Rush talked about people's fascination with Titanic last year with NBC's Seattle station.
The CEO.
People who come with us, we sometimes referred to as Titaniacs, people who have just been consumed by the Titanic.
The Titanic rests 2.5 miles beneath the surface. The Coast Guard asked by NBC's Tom Costello what happens if the Titan is found that deep in the ocean.
Obviously, getting salvage equipment on scene is a top priority. I can't give you an exact timeline of when that's going to happen.
Now, the Coast Guard would not comment about reports. It took OceanGate 8 hours to report the missing sub, only saying the search and rescue began as soon as it was reported. At this point, they maintain the focus is on the search. Live in the newsroom, I'm Gus Rosendale, News 4 New York.
So apparently they have like between 24 and 48 hours at this point now where they dead. For those of you just catching up on this.
13 members of New York's Air National Guard now on their way to search the Titanic wreckage more than 12,000 feet under the ocean. News 4's Greg Circle live in West Hampton Beach, where a rescue plane took off there today. So many folks watching this story, Greg.
And Natalie, we're told that plane departed Gabreski Airport here.
Yeah, don't miss a concert for me.
Today, the
I agree.
rescue unit that's based here again being called on to try and make the seemingly impossible possible. This search and rescue mission from Long Island's Gabreski Airport began yesterday. 13 crew members from the New York Air National Guard's 106th Rescue Wing determined to find them.
So they could have up until Friday morning.
13 pairs of eyes were trained on the Atlantic below for about 4 hours, ready to move if the sub had surfaced. But the search was in vain. Captain Christopher Caldwell was the plane's pilot.
We did the best that we could for as long as we could, up until we lost daylight. And then after daylight, we went to an electronic search.
Today, another C-130 from this elite Air National Guard unit is back over the Atlantic, joining ships and rescue teams from the U.S. and Canada, all trying to locate that 5-person sub last seen Sunday as it embarked on a tour.
Good night, Nine Tails. I'm serious. We're so close to that hot orca action.
It's entangled somewhere on that wreck. There's a lot of debris across that wreck.
Water rescue expert Butch Hendricks says if the sub is entangled around Titanic, finding it as quickly as possible is a key to the rescue effort. But that, he says, won't be easy because the sub appears to have no technology to signal its location.
There's no emergency deployed beacons that can tell you where it is. There's no beacon or emergency transmitter on it itself that can send out a series of signals that our military, Coast Guard,
fuck Nazis. Good evening.
Could find it.
And
Joey, good evening.
Search goes on with the sub's oxygen supply now at roughly 38 hours.
They are putting their effort behind this. They've got their manpower, and they are jointly saying, we're going to try and make this happen.
Now, even if the sub is found, Hendrick can't say if rescuers have the capability to bring it to the surface quickly and safely. But right now, like everyone, he's simply hoping for a happy ending, just like so many that the 106th Rescue Wing has helped to write.
Hey, guys. I don't remember the story. I should have looked this up. I didn't think about this connection until we got here. So my apologies for not having this offhand. But what was it? Like the dude that constructed the Titanic said like this is an unsinkable ship. And, like basically foreshadowed that it would go down. You guys know what I'm talking about? I'm not smoking crack on that, right? That happened. I mean, I could have been smoking some crack.
That was on crack.
So, I think that's the thing, right? The maker of the lost Titanic submarine once told a reporter that at some point Safety is just pure waste. I mean, it's all like, holy shit. Like, what? Like, This douchebag right here. The maker of the lost Titanic sub once told a reporter that safety is just pure waste. OceanGate CEO Stockton Rush made the comments on CBS's, whoa, he's on the sub with them. He's on, wait, if it's the CEO of the submarine company, he's on the fucking sub. Rush's submersible has been missing since Sunday. Rush and 4 other people were reportedly on board. This story, just chef's kiss. No notes. No notes. See, it's shit like this that makes you go, man, there's a God and he's got a hell of a sense of humor. I understand it. I have so many things in my life that just don't seem like coincidence. It's this kind of shit. You love this shit, right? You love it. It's these kind of stories that make life worth living. Unfortunately, the last update I'm going to give you about this submarine is that, unfortunately, the orcas did not do it. Killer whales can't be responsible for the missing Titanic sub. Rumors have spread on social media that orcas could be responsible for a missing submersible in the North Atlantic Ocean, but experts told Newsweek that's a false theory and is damaging the animal's reputation. Damaging the animal's reputation? No, like, orcas, like fucking love for orcas is at an all-time high right now. I promise you that. A submersible equipped with 5 passengers disappeared after it went on a deep-sea expedition. People inaccurately speculated that perhaps killer whales are behind the missing submersible, given the pod of orcas off the Strait of Gibraltar that have sunk 3 ships, but experts were quick to debunk the theory. Also, experts are quick to debunk our fun. They say that we should not be rooting on the killer whales. I want to take you to this piece in the Atlantic. Killer whales are not our friends. Stop rooting for the orcas ramming boats. In recent months, in the waters off the Iberian Peninsula, have taken to ram orcas in the waters off the Iberian Peninsula. I fucked that up. I thought he did. Have taken to ramming boats. The animals have already sunk 3 this year and damaged several more. After one of the latest incidents in which a catamaran lost both of its rudders, the boat's captain suggested that the assailants have grown stealthier and more efficient. Looks like they knew exactly what they are doing, he said. Scientists have documented hundreds of orca boat incidents off the Spanish-Portuguese coast since 2020. But news coverage of these attacks is blowing up right now, thanks in part to a new creative new theory about why they're happening. I never can say it right. Cetacean. with freaking laser beams. Cetacean.
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 Cetacean vengeance. Now that's a story. The orcas are doing this on purpose. Alfredo Lopez Fernandez, a biologist at the University of Aveiro, Portugal, told Live Science last month. Of course, we don't know the origin of the motivation, but defensive behavior based on trauma as the origin of all this gains more strength for us every day. But this, it's behind a paywall. This guy is not actually a whale scientist, Jacob Stern. He's a reporter for The Atlantic. He is very much behind the stop rooting for the orcas ramming boats. You want to see a picture of what Jacob Stern looks like. That's Jacob Stern. So this is the guy that says that we should stop rooting for the orcas. Anyone want to take a wild guess as to why this motherfucker right here would tell us to not root for the orcas? His picture here in the Yale Men's Club Soccer. Another theory that circulated on Twitter. Another theory that circulated on Twitter was this guy that said, "Nice try, boat." Pointed out Jacob Stern and that a stern is a part of a boat. Is he in a barbershop quartet? He certainly looks like it. He certainly dressed for that occasion, yes. The Yale Men's Club Soccer. He wants you to stop rooting for the orcas. Which is why I'm going to play you video of orcas attacking a boat so you can root for the orcas. I've been promising it. I've been promising it all night. Hot orca action.
To boats off the Iberian Peninsula, raising questions about why the orcas are doing it. Stephanie Tsai
You live in sexual anarchy?
In the middle of the night last October, Artur Napoleão was sailing miles off the coast of Portugal to deliver a boat to a client. As a professional skipper and sail instructor, it's a journey he's taken many times before.
At 4 o'clock a.m., it was my turn to go sleep. So I went down, I started taking my nap, and 30 minutes later, boom.
He ran up to the deck to find the boat surrounded by a pod of orcas.
They messed around for 5 minutes, and then they went to another boat, more far away from me, like 1-2 miles.
But the pod returned, not once, but 3 times, the visit spanning over several hours, well after sunrise.
I got really scared until I see them.
They're doing it on purpose.
See their movements and how gentle they were when I stopped the boat.
In the past 3 years, hundreds of boat and orca interactions have been reported off the coasts of Portugal, Spain, and Morocco.
Stop invading their space.
GTOA, in 2022, there were 207 reported interactions in the Strait of Gibraltar alone.
I don't like this that they're gaslighting these fucking orcas like it's the orcas' fault or some shit. That's the orcas' home. They have a right to defend themselves.
The strait is a narrow waterway that separates Spain and Morocco, and the meetings are not always gentle. Just last month, killer whales surrounding a boat sailing through the Strait of Gibraltar were met with loud noises, an attempt by the crew to scare them off. The pod rammed the boat continuously for over an hour, managing to remove the rudder. With seawater gushing into the boat, the experienced crew of 4 issued a mayday call and were eventually towed to shore unharmed. In another recent instance off the coast,
they were out to kill them.
Orcas repeatedly struck a yacht, causing it to sink entirely after Spanish Coast Guards rescued the crew on board.
We have we are having 1 incident every day in average. Okay, there are days that we have 2 or 3.
To better track these events, Rui Alves started this website last year to log orca encounters. It connects a network of sailors who share geographic locations of sightings and attacks along the Spanish and Portuguese coast.
Trauma related to the boats, exactly.
This month.
So for me was the idea, if you spread the word about something that happens in an area, people will avoid that area. Maybe they will keep the boat and say, I don't sail today because there are many orcas at that point. I will sail tomorrow. Or maybe I will go in other direction.
Orcas living near the Iberian Peninsula are a distinct subpopulation and a critically endangered one. But why these orcas are repeatedly damaging boats is something experts are trying to understand. One theory making the rounds, revenge. Some scientists believe an orca named White Gladys suffered a traumatic injury from a boat and may be teaching other orcas how to attack similar vessels. But Monica Whelan-Shields, director of the Orca Behavior Institute, says that kind of activity would be uncharacteristic of the animals she studies. Play is a more likely explanation, she says.
It's just not something that we've seen for whatever reason. They're the top predator in the ocean. They're capable of attacking and killing, all kinds of species that are around them, but they have never targeted that that talent or that, predator-like behavior towards humans.
Despite the killer whale nickname, orcas are the largest species in the...
Allow me to posit that there is a growing number of boats in the water, I would assume.
Dolphin family. And no humans have yet to report major injuries from the boat confrontations. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Stephanie Sy.
50,000 killer whales globally. Not enough. There's not enough of them. Question on everyone's mind tonight, I'm sure, is does Wi-Fi cause cancer? You guys want to take bets? What do you think? Wi-Fi cause cancer? Hear what JFK. Let's hear what RFK Jr. has to say.
It does all kinds of bad things, including causing cancer.
Wi-Fi radiation causes
cancer. From your cell phone. I mean, there's cell phone tumors. I'm representing hundreds of people who have cell phone tumors behind the ear. It's always on the ear that you favor with your cell phone. We have the science. So if anybody lets us in front of a jury, it will be over.
Hey guys, do any of you even hold your fucking phone up to your ear anymore? Is that even a thing?
So what is the number? Because a lot of people
There's a lot of people with it. They're glioblastomas. That's the kind of cancers that they get. But cancer's not the worst thing. They also, it opens up, Wi-Fi radiation opens up your blood-brain barrier. And so all these toxins that are in your body can now go into your brain.
How does Wi-Fi radiation open up your blood-brain barrier?
Yeah, now you're going beyond my expertise. But what there are, I'm going to use a number here, and you're going to think it's hyperbole.
I felt like he was getting ready to rub his titties and caught himself and thought better of it. You know that episode of South Park where they go to the cable company? He was like, ooh. I felt like what RFK was getting ready to do there.
But it's not. There are tens of thousands of studies that show the horrendous danger of Wi-Fi radiation.
As far as I know, there is not one fucking study that shows any kind of danger of Wi-Fi radiation. That is RFK Jr. Yes, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Microplastic. Yeah, we're all full of motherfucking microplastics. Yes, he is Bobby Kennedy's son. The Bobby Kennedy that was shot in, what was it, the 76 presidential primary? Was that what it was? '68. I was way off there. 68. I thought it was later than that. Like to learn here on the Troll Patrol. Bobby Kennedy Jr. is a lawyer. Has a lot in common with the next dude we're going to talk about, who is studying to be a lawyer. He is a law student, and he has never played a day of basketball in his life. Yet he is now... He's apparently found a legal loophole and will enter himself into the NBA draft.
A Florida law school student is doing something he never dreamed possible.
Justin, good evening.
Eligible for the NBA draft. That's despite the fact that Jordan Haber had never played a single game of college hoops. Here's what happened. During some downtime, Haber read the fine print of the NBA collective bargaining agreement. He determined that technically you don't need to be a basketball player to become draft eligible. You just need to be 19 years old and give 60 days notice with a letter of intent. You also have to fill out the NBA draft paperwork. So he did, and to his surprise, the NBA said, okay, you're invited. As a result, Haber will soon be standing alongside the future stars of the NBA.
Went through the collective bargaining agreement, and there's just a bunch of small little things that I ended up needing, and I sent over an email to the NBA, and they got back to me and sent over paperwork right away.
Now, this lifelong Miami Heat
Ziva, what's up, my friend? Is that how you say it?
his dream of going to the draft, but apparently he is aware this is just a formality and he has no real chance of going pro.
Hold the video. Want to see his jump shot.
There
Hey,
you go.
all right. He can make a basket. He'll be all right.
Hey, you never know. There have been plenty of movies made where like amateurs make it to the pros and shit. I don't know. Isn't there even one where a dog plays the basketball? Ziva, I appreciate you being a freaking follower, but you came at the end of the show. I'm JustinFREAKIN. We usually find out what that news be doing Sunday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Many times I go 3, 4, 5, fucking 6 hours. I'm kind of busy this week. I've got a shit ton of work to do, and also Final Fantasy 16 comes out tomorrow. So I'm trying to not do so much news. So you're getting ready to get your animal video. I always wrap everything up with an animal video, because usually we watch some horrific shit, like, you know, fucking toddlers shooting it. Well, I guess not a toddler. 2 little kids playing with guns and one shooting the other one. We watched a shootout in San Francisco. What else did we do, though? We've been on a wild ride. We found out if Wi-Fi causes cancer. Oh, we watched some hot orca action. Fucking Andrew Tate got charged. The Oath Keeper's lawyer got sent to a hospital. It's been a wild ride. Here's some goats. Wasn't expecting to put the stupid music under it. Is that what it's called, Airbud? I've never seen it. When don't we? Poor gets every night we hear about it. We that's the show pretty much. We like to kick authority in the balls around here. We do that a lot.
He's kicking authority in the balls.
Whatever political philosophy allows me to piss in Dan Crenshaw's open eye hole. More orcas. I'm on the side of the orca overlords. Fuck them boats. That's what they're there for. They're there to graze. They're going to town on it. I wish we had more footage. They would totally, like, it won't even, It won't even take them, what, 30 minutes to clear that hill, if that? No, they were just investigating him. They had to release him. So they had him imprisoned up until what, about 2 months ago? I'd say it was back in March. They had to let him go. So now they have officially charged him with rape and human trafficking. I would love to see the rest of this, because they would clear that hill. But I may even be wrong. It may be like 15 minutes, and all that grass is fucking gone. Great for growth. Great for the goats. Circle of life, bitches. Go ahead. Oh yeah. Speaking of grass, I'll hit some grass. Go ahead. Light one up. Tip one back. It's all right to have a little fun before you hit the sack. I'm Justin.